So, about to get going for the first of three. Something very different for 2018. Instead of one 20-lap final, one endurance run, we get 3 goes at it here. Points will count towards the Australian Supercross title. There's a lot of pride in trying to win the Monster Energy AUS-X Open. So some are just thinking about the event itself. And then the new dimension, of course, is this wonderful Oceania Championship. These 3 races here count towards that, and that championship will continue at Mount Smart Stadium in New Zealand, in Auckland in a few weeks' time. Good to go.
They're in gear, the revs are up.
Underway, SX1, final number 1. Oh, down!
Got to ride it down there, but Metcalf got a good start from the inside there, but it looks like Brayton's going to check out with this thing if he keeps going like this. Anderson in second, and for the Aussie crowd, we have Chad Reed in third. First of the Aussies.
Then it's Dean Wilson. And it looks like Daniel Reardon doing a nice job at the moment as well.
Luke Clout's just in front of him there. Reardon's going to get pinched off down the inside of the whoops there. But Brayton, he'll be looking to check out. Anderson will not want to let him get a gap at all. And we must remember the Shannon shortcut too. That could really come into play somewhere here.
So dramas for...
That's if the mechanic's not there to fix it, just sink the boot into it. As we watch the replay,
what happened, yeah.
Wilson got a great jump. Brayton just had the more momentum from the outside. You see Chad Reed there sliding around the outside. Didn't want to get on the brakes too early and give up his position. Yeah, and poor old, who was it on the outside there? He just ran out of room,
I reckon that's Grady Featherstone.
Yeah, Grady Featherstone. He's not up on the screen there. That's why I was getting confused. Oh, Chad Reed's gone down. We're just hearing over the news. I'm not sure where he went down. We've missed it on our telecast there, but he has dropped the machine.
Down to 10th.
So let's check out the replay, what happened. I talked about the slick surfaces. Is it the slick surface that's caught him off guard? Oh, almost in slow motion. Full Jason Crump, sideways, all the way to a stop. And he talked about how slippery it was all night. But in the meantime, let's talk about the action up front. It is red hot.
Look at this, the Americans going handlebar to handlebar. And Anderson takes the lead on the Husqvarna.
Now, I think what you'll see here is Brayton's probably had a look over his shoulder here and there when he's jumped the Monster Energy finish line jump to see where Metcalf is. And he knows he's got a decent buffer over third with Chad going down. He's probably not too concerned about chasing Anderson down. Anderson's got the hammer down, nothing to lose. He wants to win this race. Where I'm sure Brayton would be quite happy with a second if he knows Metcalf's a little bit further down the field. There he is there in 5th position, 6th position, I believe.
So clearly he's not going to...
That's Grady Featherstone down again.
And maybe a wrist injury there or something. He's looking.
He's just holding the arm there, but he'll go to the race-safe Suzuki medical truck there, and old Johnny Park will look after him. But where's Chad sitting now? Chad's back in the 10th, so almost like a throwaway race for this one as he moves past the young Victorian Dylan Long.
That's for position. That's for 9th place now. So
pretty cool for a lot of these youngsters too to be out there battling with Chad Reed. Probably, you know, he was playing video games when Chad was racing, and now he's out on the track with him. So it's a pretty cool experience for a lot of these Aussie guys who never get to, would never have had the chance to race Chad.
Anderson with the advantage, 1.5 seconds over Justin Brayton. Brayton thinking about the championship. He came into this one with a 6-point advantage over Brett Metcalf, and his title rival at the moment is down in 6th place.
Yeah, Metcalf's going to have to get a hurry along, but it's not too critical. It is, but, you know, when you get down to the nitty-gritty at 6 points, he needs to beat Brayton on the night by, I believe, if Brayton wins the overall, then if Metcalf wins the overall, Brayton needs to be down in 4th for Metcalf to take the championship by 1 point. So
at the moment, it's simple math. Brayton is ahead of Metcalf. That's all that matters if he keeps doing that.
We don't need to crunch numbers if he's in front of him, Rusty, which I'm quite happy to do. This 3 final formats really got the mathematics all mixed up.
In the meantime, Anderson now 2.5 seconds. He is flying. What a season.
You can see there, as I mentioned before, the end of the whoops, they take a very sharp turn before they drop off the single and almost ride down the very sharp edge of the single to get the most amount of traction before they turn, where you see Chad slide out.
He's off from here to race in France. And then, of course, to the FIM Awards ceremony where he'll join Marc Marquez and no doubt even
Toby Price will be there too.
Yeah, exactly. So It's been a great year for Jason Anderson, and in some respects, it all began here 12 months ago. He was in a dynamite form here at the 2017 running of this event, Lee.
Boys, we've got to give a big pat on the back for the factory KTM racer, Luke Cloud. He's in sensational form, currently 4th place on the track, and ahead of Dan Reardon, who was our fastest in time qualifying earlier on in the Super Bowl. So great job for Luke Cloud.
Good spot. And in the meantime, we can tell you, Lee, that Chad Reed has picked up some spots and is up into 7th place now.
He is on a charge, actually. He's got in the background there. We haven't been able to see it on the screen. They've been following our leader, Jason Anderson. There's that line I was talking about there, definitely helping him get traction across that slippery straight. But as you said, all kicked off last year at the AUS-X Open, and then just went on, carried great form into the AMA Championship. Pretty much, I think he held the red plate all year, was barely untouched until that mishap in the second last round with a broken front wheel. And
he looks fit too, doesn't he? He looks in terrific form at the moment. He often takes a simple approach to his racing, turns up with the Perspex container with all the gear, not the fancy bag, and keeps it simple.
That's it. Al Hombre on his Instagram, you might actually see him hashtag no tucks given. That's because his shirt always comes untucked.
And he takes out SX final #1.
Brayton comfortable with 2nd. He will be happy with that, and that will be good for his points tally towards the championship.
Pleased for Dean Wilson as well, off the back of those knee injuries and now the uncertainty for 2019 for him. He gets a 3rd place, a podium finish here for the event. That'd be sweet for Dean Wilson.
I'm sure he'd be stoked to take home another trophy, do another shoey on the podium.